Welcome back to day 5 of the Reinventing Everything Challenge. For those of you who are new to this challenge, this is a 12-day challenge where we are literally going through every facet of our lives, from creating what would we like that life to look like, how are we showing up as that person who's living that next level, and what are those fears? What are those things that are holding us back? Are we lacking self confidence? Do we have patterns in our life that hold us back from doing the things we would love to do? So, welcome to the channel. This is Unlocked and Unleashed After 50. I'm especially talking to those of you who are over the age of 50 because at this age, we tend to develop a lot of stories that may hold us back from going for the life that we would absolutely love. Now, I'm sitting here in beautiful Costa Rica, and I wanted to share this amazing setting that I'm in to show you what life can look like. Like, seriously, this is my life every single day. So maybe this isn't your thing. Maybe your thing is a 5-star resort or sailing around a catamaran on the Greek Isles. Whatever it might be, you get to create that life no matter what your budget looks like right now. So it's really important that we figure out what is holding us back. And guys, this is all neuroscience. What I'm talking to you about is reprogramming the neural pathways in our brain so that we don't allow fear or hesitation, unworthiness, any of these things to hold us back. We don't allow our current bank account or our current relationships to hold us back. Once you start heading toward your 50s, 60s, and beyond, all of a sudden we realize life isn't as long as what we thought it was going to be. And if you have big dreams, why not go for those dreams? Why continue to live the same life you've been living day after day after day, especially if it's starting to cause you stress, anxiety, depression, whatever it might be. And of course, in today's world, that's more prevalent than ever as we're facing rising costs, a more uncertain future, governments that are falling apart. So let's talk about the fears that may be holding you back and how you can overcome those fears. I like to call this the 4 F's. We're really looking at those patterns in our lives that are holding us back: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So when we're in fight mode, we go into blame or resentment. So this is where we may be blaming our partner, blaming our boss, blaming our parents. We may have resentment. We may even have blame and resentment toward ourselves for making colossal mistakes in our life. And guys, if you're human, chances are you've made some colossal mistakes. Like I have made plenty throughout my life, trust me. But that does not define your future. It's something that happened in the past. We let that go and we move on. But we do need to recognize if we're still blaming ourselves or someone else for our situation, or even the economy for that matter, are we blaming what's going on in the governments and in the economies around the world for our being stuck? Because it's not the truth. This is a story that we're telling ourselves. So when we notice blame and resentment, we're in fight mode. Now, the second F is flight mode. Flight mode is when you just don't do the thing. Like an opportunity comes, a friend tells you about maybe a career opportunity or an opportunity to go on an amazing trip. Don't even hear it because you are in flight mode. There may be some unworthiness behind that, that you don't feel like you're good enough to do that thing, or it could be that you just don't feel good about yourself. And so you don't hear what people are trying to tell you. And many of us go through that at some point in our lives because, again, if we've had those colossal failures, we've created stories around that. Again, it's nothing more than brain science. And we've made ourselves bad and wrong for something that happened rather than looking at this as if it was a learning experience. So that's fight, flight. And the third F is freeze. Freeze, I've had so many of those days where I was just sitting in front of my computer. I was sitting at my desk, and before I knew it, 5 or 6 hours have passed by and I didn't get anything done. I don't know what I did with that time. I scrolled YouTube, Facebook, whatever it might be. I shuffled a lot of papers around. I cleaned my desk off again, but got absolutely nothing done. And then there's fawning. So I grew up in a household with my mom and my sister who were amazing people, but no one could ever make a decision. Anytime we wanted to go somewhere, it'd be, where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go? And it was us trying to be nice and give the other person the option to make the decision rather than us making a decision on our own lives and saying, hey, I'd like to have Mexican today. Let's go to a Mexican restaurant. Hey, I'd like to go to this park today. Let's go do this. No, we just went back and forth, back and forth. Well, sometimes we do that in our own life. Oh, should I take the job? Shouldn't I take the job? Should I start my own business? Shouldn't I start my own business? This is fawning, and we live in a constant state of indecision. And before you know it, you've lost hours of your life, if not days, weeks, and months. These responses are hardwired into our nervous system from when we were hunters and gatherers, and we needed the fight, flight, or freeze in order to survive. We're still carrying these nervous system responses deep in our DNA. Like, it is part of how we are wired, but now we're perceiving having to make that hard phone call, having to make a decision, having to step into the next chapter of our life as something that could be dangerous, when in fact it's really not. It's just this hardwired response because we haven't been taught how to handle these situations. We look at it as if I just don't have the confidence. But you see, confidence is a learned behavior. Confidence is something that we step into day in, day out, despite the fact that we might have these fears. What I would like you to do for today's work is to sit down with your journal and just go back through different scenarios where you've had to face something that's been really difficult, that scared you, maybe where you didn't make a decision and you wish you would have in hindsight, and really discover what is your mode of operation. Like, I know for a fact that I go into fight mode, I go into blaming, and when I do that, I'm kind of playing the victim in my own life. Like, I'm blaming somebody else for my own life. I also go into the flight mode where I'm going into procrastination and I'm not getting anything done. I often go into fawning where I just don't make a decision. But guess what? No decision is a decision. And the reason we're doing this is the more that we start to see these behaviors and these patterns pop up in our life, the sooner we can catch it and say, oh, it's just that thing. It's just that thing. I've done that in the past. I'm going to befriend my fear and step into this thing rather than running away from it, hiding from it, blaming the world. So grab your journal, do the hard work. This is some of the hardest work that you will do during this challenge, is really looking at the ugly stuff. And it is the ugly stuff, the stuff that we've tried to hide from the world and from ourselves. We've tried to deny these behaviors, but the fact is we all have them. So with that, if you're enjoying these videos and you're enjoying this challenge, please like and subscribe. It really helps to get my channel out to more people just like you who may be looking to reinvent this next phase of their life. And I also have a free school community. The link is below. I go on live once a month and I do a live Q&A, so you have direct access to me right there to ask questions. If there's anything that's holding you back in your life, to share, and maybe even do the hot seat coaching with us. I look forward to seeing you in the community, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you got out of this video.